We all know that Donald Trump, the Republican nominee for President of the United States, is also a convicted felon. 34 felony counts he was found guilty of by a jury of his peers in that New York hush money trial. So clearly, based on what the jury told us, Donald Trump is no stranger to breaking the law. Which is why it should probably come as no surprise to anybody watching this that there is a chance that his presidential campaign, in the span of 7 days, may have broken the law twice. The first incident, of course, took place almost 2 weeks ago when Donald Trump held his idiotic little press conference at the police station in Livingston County in Michigan. Donald Trump, of course, spoke at a podium that had his Make America Great Again political slogan on it, and yes, that is important to the story. He had uniformed police officers behind him. He had patrol cars parked up there as political props, as he was supposed to be talking about crime, but of course went totally off the rails and made the whole thing a political speech. Well, turns out in the state of Michigan, in fact, in most states actually, that's illegal. You cannot use taxpayer-funded offices for political purposes. And this has now sparked an investigation by the Michigan Bureau of Elections to determine whether or not any laws were broken by having the police there, using the station as a backdrop, and the cars as political props. Let me read you this. The Bureau will investigate after receiving complaints against the Livingston County Sheriff's Office in Howell, Michigan, and Livingston County Sheriff Michael Murphy regarding alleged violations of the Michigan Campaign Finance Act, a spokesman for the Michigan Secretary of State's office confirmed. Now, Murphy, the sheriff, prior to Trump's event, had put out a video on social media saying, "Let me make a couple of things clear. One, this is not a political event. This is a press conference. There will be about 150 folks from the press here. There will be some special guests that are by invitation only. The former president's coming to address the press regarding safety and crime." And then Trump, the Republican nominee, spoke from a podium that featured his presidential campaign logo. Behind him were banners that said "Make America Safe Again" and 3 sheriff's office SUVs. According to the Detroit Metro Times, top sheriff officials attended the event during their regular shifts. And as we all know from the speech itself, this wasn't a press conference. This was, in fact, a political event by an individual seeking a federal office in order to gain support. It was a political event, no matter which way you slice it. Now, here's where things do get interesting. The Michigan Bureau of Elections did announce that there is an investigation, but they didn't say if the investigation is only into the sheriff's office or if it's also into the Trump campaign. Because the Trump campaign is not necessarily the ones that are legally barred from doing something at a publicly funded federal or state office. The sheriff, on the other hand, he could be in big trouble. And to be honest, based on the way the law is, I do think the Trump campaign may also have some legal problems they may got to deal with there. But as I said, that's just one of 2 events that happened in a 7-day span. Because 7 days after that, what did Donald Trump and his campaign do? Well, they showed up at Arlington National Cemetery, causing a ruckus to the point where a staffer at Arlington National Cemetery was allegedly physically assaulted by Donald Trump's staffers after the cemetery staffer told them, "You can't do political events here. It's against the law." So, 2 events in a 7-day span where Donald Trump's team should have at least been aware that you can't do this. Whether it's against the law for you or against the law for the other people involved, you can't do it. But Trump's team either didn't know or didn't care enough to know, and they went ahead and did it anyway because that's kind of what they do. And after all, isn't that kind of how the jury made their determination when they convicted Donald Trump on all 34 counts? You knew you couldn't, you knew you shouldn't, but you went ahead and did it anyway, because that's just the kind of guy that Donald Trump is, and apparently that's the kind of campaign he's running too. Hi everyone, this here is Little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.